Good morning. When you woke up this morning, what was the first thing you thought about? What was the first thing that you did? They always say, "Oh, I didn't think that this would happen," or "I didn't know that it would go down like that." So I ask you, how did you think your day would go down? Have you actually thought about how your day would play out? Or you just wait till something happen and say you didn't expect that to happen? They say when you break a mirror, you get 7 years bad luck, or don't cross a pole, or step on a crack and you break your mama's back. All the little tales that everybody would say. But the 7 years bad luck is the one that sticks. What if you feel like you already have bad luck? Does that 7 years really make a difference? Dear Love, episode 10. Appreciation goes a long way. You ever felt like you weren't appreciated? You do so much for a person, you do so much for somebody, and it just doesn't ever seem like it's enough. For instance, let's say you cut your friend's grass. Now you're not or let's say I got one better. You cut your friend's grass and you tell them, "Oh, don't worry about paying me." Now, even though you say don't worry about paying me, don't you still expect something? I know that sounds like selfish or crazy, but like I cut your whole yard, or I cleaned out your basement. I painted your room. Whatever you want to do, we don't all. Sometimes we do things out the kindness of our heart, and people say they appreciate it, but do they really, really appreciate it? I mean, of course you want nothing, because I always tell people, if I do something for you, it's not for anything in return. I don't care to have anything back. But just look out for me whenever I need you. It's not a tit for tat thing, but let's work together. Let's make this a partnership. If I scratch your back, you scratch mine when I need you. So if I like clean your whole basement, I'm not, well, that sounds bad too, because now it seems like I'm saying just pay me later, but it's just the appreciation, just, hey, I appreciate it. Thanks. Cool. So whenever I need something, I expect you to be there. Or if I always looked out for you, no matter what, I expect you to look out for me the one time that I need you. But of course, we don't get that. I remember I had a girlfriend that I did everything for, no matter what she asked for, whether it was boots, coats, jackets, shirts, pants, you name it, I was there to do it. I feel like as a man, that was my job, to take care of her, keep her together, keep her sane in a sense. And one day she told me, "Oh, well, you're supposed to do that." Now, granted, I understood in a sense, yeah, as your man, I am supposed to make sure you're okay. But I didn't take it that way. I took it as like they didn't appreciate the things that I were doing. And it's funny because when you do things like that, it always turns out to bite them in the ass. Laugh now, cry later. Because then they'll come back and say, "Oh, I really didn't appreciate the things you did." Or, if you get with someone who has 8 kids, hell, it could be 9 kids. It don't really matter. If you're there helping with the kids and taking care of them, you have to show, or you expect them to show their appreciation for what you're doing. The minute that they stop appreciating it, you feel like, well, shit, what am I doing this for? And I felt like that with her. I did so much for her. I did everything for her. And I asked for a couple things, and I just never could get it. So it's like no appreciation there. And I just think we don't take advantage of appreciation. When somebody's there for us wholeheartedly, not expecting nothing in return, they're there because they're out of the kindness of their heart and they want to help us. But some of us just take advantage of appreciation. Moving on from that, don't want to feel too underappreciated right now. So, what if you actually said what you were thinking at all times? Like, what if your brain automatically had no filter, really? You know how people say, "Oh, I do this, I don't have no filter." No, let's talk about a real filter. What if you couldn't help what came out? You know how everybody sleep disses at times, or They'll wait till the person's not around and they'll say something, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about, what if you're in front of this person that you don't like and you actually say, hey, I don't like you, and this is why I don't like you. It don't always got to be a fight. I'm just telling you why I don't like you. I feel like you act funny when you're around this person. I feel like you say things behind my back, and I don't like it. Therefore, I don't like you. Can you imagine how the world would be if we just fucking said what we were meant to say? And none of us tell the truth 100% to the T. If they say they are, they're lying. We don't always say what comes to our mind, and I think we should. But I don't do it either, so I can't knock anybody else. But I think the world would be a lot different if we did that. If you just tell somebody exactly how you feel. So if you had this 7 years of bad luck, hell, you got bad luck anyway, would you just tell people how you feel? Would you go up to your boss and say, you know what, I think you're a piece of shit. And I know you're going to fire me, and I don't care. But I just need you to know how you were acting today. And by the way, I'm going to take everything up in here, too, when I leave out the door. Can you imagine telling your boss that? And then you tell him, well, I don't give a fuck. I got 7 years bad luck, man. That sounds crazy. Or imagine telling your mother, hey, Mom, I seen all those guys you was sneaking in the room while I was a kid. And I just felt like you didn't have to do those things for money. I could have got a job or something, but I just want you to know I see your hoish ways. Man, you imagine saying that to your mother? Or, hey, Dad, I told Mom, or I'm telling you first, but I'm letting you know I'm about to go tell Mom about the girl that you had in the house and how you told me to come along with you and act like we didn't go to the movies, or when I come around, act like we went to McDonald's and we really was at your other girlfriend's house. I just want you to know I'm about to go tell her that. Can you imagine how that would turn out? That would be crazy. And this is kind of a deep dive here, but if we don't give reactions like that, which I know we don't for the most part, do people really know the real us? Open up that closet a little bit. Let some of those skeletons out that I see hanging from, the doorway. Are you being completely honest with everybody that you talk to? Do they know the real you? If they were to look inside of you, or what if they were in your brain? Would they really know how you felt about them? Or if you were using them or treating them bad or anything? Even if it was positive, what if you had a crush on somebody that really liked you, but you were scared to say something, but you never knew because, hell, they talked bad about you. Or, we see plenty of cartoons, Hey Arnold, and different shows where the girl is the bully, but she really likes the guy. So just imagine, if we could tell people the real us, and I try to get like that. I try to get more and more like that every day. Open the door full of, skeletons. Let them skeletons out. Hey, I do this, I do that. This is how I am. How do you feel about this? Do you like me still? Do you think we can be friends? Sometimes we got to put it all out on the table, and you'll be surprised at the reactions that you get. Some people might actually be down with it. So having bad luck, in a sense, can turn into something good. You might have bad luck and get pulled over on a crazy night and go to jail. But then in jail, you learned how to become a carpenter. Or in jail, you found who your real family was, in a sense, by, maybe you're doing a gang thing, joined a gang, and that's the family, that you wanted for your life. Even though they say gangs is a negative thing, there are some good gangs that do positive things. It's not always bad. So bad luck could easily turn into good. When I was younger, I was never really into the whole, I got to do it to every chick that I talk to, or let's have threesomes and orgies. No, I was never really into that. Henceforth, I never caught nothing crazy. You get some people who's into that life, and then you see them down the line, and it's like, wow. I had a friend, friend of a friend, kind of, but she was like a popular girl in school. Always talked down on people, always talked bad about people. She just thought she was the greatest thing walking on earth. And this is where Laugh Now, Cry Later kicks in because, again, she was one of the popular girls. And, I think I was actually one of the people she talked about at times, which was fine. I went to school for one goal, so I didn't really care about what people said or what people thought. I always had my own opinion on things. And that's why I always stood out in a sense. But I seen her a couple years later and she didn't look so good. I mean, and this is not to be funny. I don't know if she was like on drugs or being pimped out or what it was, but I thought like, how ironic. The one chick that thought she was so bad is now doing bad. And we could laugh and say, ha ha, that's what you get, stuff like that. But it really was kind of sad because it's like, man, you never know what the hell is going on. You was the man, what happened? Or you was the woman, what happened? So we got to be mindful of doing things like that. Now, bad luck side of it is maybe that was good for her because it taught her to be humble. Don't have your nose in the air talking about everybody, and then down the line, you're smiling in those same people's face. Look at Bill Gates. Bill Gates got talked about in school, but look at what happened. One of the richest people. And now some of the people who laughed at him is probably working for him. So it's a weird thing, bad luck and laugh now, cry later, and it's all weird. But bad luck can easily be turned. Well, I should say like a bad luck situation can always turn into something good. By me not being into all of the girls and different things, people probably looked at it as bad. I know I did at times, looked at it as bad, like, damn, I can't get a girl. Or, man, maybe I'm too big, or maybe I'm too small, or maybe I don't have, the right clothes, or whatever it was. So to me, it seemed like bad luck. But in reality, look at some of the people who had good luck back then. Now they got bad luck. Broken mirrors. Do you have a broken mirror? Do you have a mirror that's partly cracked? If so, it's okay. Patch it back up. Live life. But live it the way you want to live it. So even if that mirror does break, maybe it was supposed to. I mean, you got to think. Everything happens for a reason. So again, if the mirror did break, look at it as a positive thing. Turn that negative into a positive. Maybe it broke because you were supposed to help somebody else. Or maybe it broke because God's bringing that person into your life to help put that mirror back up. So we can't always look at a negative situation and say, oh my God, it's the end of the world. No, maybe it happened for a reason. And that's why I think back to the school days. It was a reason for me not messing with certain girls. Because, man, one girl actually I was supposed to mess with ended up with herpes, man. I'm like, oh, God, what happened? So, again, bad luck back then. Good luck now. Dear love, T. Shaw, I'm out of here.